about a year ago. We started our fertility journal with the traditional route. We started with our OB. We were sent to a fertility clinic. We had all the tests, the hormonal tests ran to try and help us figure out why we weren't able to conceive. And we had been trying for almost a year and a half before we joined this program. And we went through 2 rounds of IUI. It really took a toll on our relationship, on my mental health, my physical health, and them telling me that there was nothing wrong, that we should be able to conceive naturally. And it was just a very frustrating process. I did some research and I came upon Reimagined Health. And it really intrigued me because it was so different than what I had already been through. It talked a lot about lifestyle. And I don't think I was ever asked in any of my doctor's appointments about anything that I did on a regular basis. Hi, my name is Danielle Turner. I'm from Ohio. Before I started working with Reimagined Health, I was very active. I thought I was eating fairly well. My biggest issue came with a lot of stress, not being able to deal with my anxiety and my stress levels, being obsessed with what I was eating, but probably not in a healthy way. So those were my concerns going into it. My husband and I started trying. I really didn't know much about fertility and what was out there. So I went the conventional route. I went to my OB. They told me to wait a year, that I didn't want to wait a year. So I started doing all the fertility stuff pretty quickly. And I was told that everything was normal. I should have no trouble getting pregnant. About a year and a half into trying, we did 2 rounds of IUI. I had never felt worse. Just my body, my mindset, everything. And I found Reimagined Health. It was just a different approach than what I had experienced so far. The functional side of fertility and what they offered, I just hadn't seen before. So that's what really caught my interest in it. I think the biggest hesitation was just going through what we had already been through, spending the money that we had already spent. Reimagined Health was a lot cheaper than what we had done so far, but still taking that leap and getting my hopes up again. I really struggled when it didn't work. So getting my hopes up, trying something new again. I changed a lot with my diet. So that was the biggest change that we had to do. They did blood work outside of just hormonal, reproductive. And my husband and I noticed a lot of things that I would have never known. Like our vitamin D levels were really low. My sugar was a little high, which I would have never thought because I am very active. The biggest change for me was the mental health side of it. They offered therapists to talk to, and I did a lot of meditation work, journaling, and that has not stopped. That is one thing, I think the biggest thing I've taken away from it, and it helped me so much, outside of the fertility stuff. It was everything that Reimagined Health and fertility had to offer. They had a nutritionist that you could talk to, a therapist that you could talk to. They didn't just tell you you have to change this. They had somebody there to support you. And I thought that was really helpful. They didn't just leave you hanging and expect you to figure it out on your own. They really provided you with that support to get where you needed to be, understanding that it probably wasn't going to happen overnight. And the other thing that just amazed me was all of the things that they talked to me about that my original fertility doctors never even mentioned, and that just blew my mind.